Greetings, one and all, and welcome to another episode of the Blindside Blitz podcast. Man, it's been a long time. I feel like it's been a few millennia since I last uploaded a podcast. It's only been a few months, but I've been doing it pretty often. I just took a long break, but the holiday season is upon us. It's going to be a fun, football-filled, festive time, and on Christmas Day, settle down and watch the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Baltimore Ravens. It's going to be awesome. The division is on the line. The AFC North is on the line. It's always fun to watch those two teams play. And, you look at this time of year, it's pretty much what's happening. Those two teams are almost always playing for the division at this time of year, so it'll be a fun one. I can't wait. But as we jump back in here to the Blindside Blitz, today I'm going to be talking about the Pro Bowl. Yeah, that's what the title indicated. You may not have guessed that. If you did, props to you. But, why the Pro Bowl's terrible, top snubs, and we'll be breaking down the rosters as well, but that's beside the point. The NFL just released the Pro Bowl rosters yesterday, and the thing I do like about it, if there's one thing I can say about the Pro Bowl that I actually enjoy, it's that the fans get to vote. I like that. I think it's a nice way to bring the fans in towards the end of the year, but that's about it. That's where the list stops for me. So we'll get into that a little bit later, but we'll start things off, get us some facts about the Pro Bowl this year, some interesting fun facts, and then we'll go over the rosters for a little while. The Oakland Raiders. Yes, the Oakland Raiders. The team that coming into this year had a worse record than the Browns did over the past decade. Yeah, that's how bad the Raiders have been. Guess what? They're back at it. The Raiders have a league best 7 players that have been selected to the 2017 Pro Bowl, including Derek Carr, Amari Cooper, and Khalil Mack. Obviously, those are the top 3 names that come to mind. The Raiders, they've been a complete football team. And I mean, when you're complete, you're as complete as they are, you're going to get players selected to the Pro Bowl. The Raiders' defense has not played extremely well. They've been an average defense, to say the least. But they've got talent on the defense. Doesn't always shine through, but Khalil Mack, I personally think Khalil Mack, not only, he's making a solid case, obviously, for Defensive Player of the Year. I think there's a solid chance he gets it. But I can't remember how many sacks he's had so far, but this guy it's the next coming of J.J. Watt. That's the only way I can put it. Khalil Mack, another Pro Bowl for him. I think he got in last year as well. The Falcons led the NFC with 6 players, including Matt Ryan, Julio Jones, Devontae Freeman. The only rookie outside of Dallas to make the Pro Bowl was Tyreek Hill, which, obviously that's fair. I would have voted for Hill as well if I would have voted for the Pro Bowl rosters, but I didn't. I'll get to that after a little while. Obviously, Dak Prescott and Zeke Elliott are in the Pro Bowl as well. Tom Brady, 11 Pro Bowl appearances. This year is his 11th Pro Bowl, most among active players, and Larry Fitzgerald leads the NFC. This is his 8th year in the Pro Bowl. There are 6 teams that did not have a team in the playoffs. Guess what? The Browns aren't one of them. The teams were the San Francisco 49ers, Chicago Bears, New York Jets, Jacksonville Jaguars, New Orleans Saints, and shockingly enough, the Detroit Lions. Matthew Stafford headlines my list of Pro Bowl snubs. He's been in the conversation for the Most Valuable Player award mostly the entire year, at least for me, the way he's played. And I know there's arguments, so their schedule wasn't crazy hard. He's mostly played indoors. He's 0-3 when playing outdoors. But the Detroit Lions, they're 9-5. And that in and of itself, I think, is reason enough for Matthew Stafford. Not only to be in the Pro Bowl, but to be in conversation, like I said, for the MVP award. Matthew Stafford, Drew Brees as well, shut out of the Pro Bowl. He's a big snub for me. I'll go over a couple other guys that I think. Tennessee Titans. I think 6. I think they had 6 players in the Pro Bowl. To check up on that now. But Jack Conklin, the rookie offensive lineman, is a snub also, I believe. I think he's been playing extremely well. The fact that the Titans, right? The Titans are a team you'd think that could be shut out of the Pro Bowl, right? The history they have had very little talent, right? This year, the Titans are playing some exceptional football, and I'd be surprised if they don't come away with the division. I think they're the most complete team in the division. The Titans had 5 Pro Bowlers for the Titans. But like I said, the Browns do have a player in the Pro Bowl, and it's Joe Thomas. 10 straight years being selected to the Pro Bowl. He is one of the greatest offensive linemen, I believe, of all time. Like, he's definitely in the conversation for one of the best offensive linemen of all time. So, going to break down some of the rosters. Like I said, I'll start with quarterbacks, but like I said, Matthew Stafford, it's absolute ridiculousness that he was held out of the Pro Bowl. Complete and utter nonsense. Right? This is one of the reasons I don't like. If I would say that there's one reason that the fans should not be voting, rosters, and we'll go over a few notable names, especially staying on the offensive side. From the AFC, Tom Brady, Derek Carr, Ben Roethlisberger are the quarterbacks. Wide receivers, Antonio Brown, Amari Cooper, A.J. Green, T.Y. Hilton. Running backs, you got Le'Veon Bell, DeMarco Murray, and LaShawn McCoy. And your tight ends, you got Travis Kelce and Delaney Walker. Not a ton of snubs for me in the AFC. In fact, my top 4 snubs, which besides Breeze and Stafford for me include Sean Lee and Jimmy Graham. Not a ton of snubs in the AFC as far as I'm concerned. Over in the NFC, we got our wide receivers, Julio Jones, Odell Beckham Jr., Mike Evans, Larry Fitzgerald. Quarterbacks, Matt Ryan, Aaron Rodgers, Dak Prescott. For me, if the Packers can squeeze themselves into the playoffs and get past the Lions, which would be tough to do, but if they can pull that off and make some noise in the playoffs, there's a chance I give the nod to Aaron Rodgers for the MVP award. I mean, he's been playing out of his mind as of late, and really his stats throughout the entire year are good. It just hasn't really been showcased because of the lack of performance from the entire team. But I like Aaron Rodgers as a potential MVP candidate. Even this year, Packers have had a down year so far. But remember last month? I'll give you a refresher if you don't. He said that he thinks the Packers could run the table, and since he said that, the Packers are 4-0. He's a man of his word. He's telling Green Bay to relax, and so far they have been playing well. Lions should be getting a little bit worried, but we have to wait and see what happens. Running backs in the NFC, we'll go tight ends in the NFC, Greg Olsen and Jordan Reed, and then the running backs, Ezekiel Elliott, David Johnson, and Devontae Freeman. So those are some of the guys. Some of the notable positions. I know we stuck primarily with the offense there. But the Pro Bowl needs to and is going to be done away with completely. 100%. Right? It's similar to my take on Thursday Night Football. It's got some things that line up. They line up with each other. There's some parallel arguments that I have. The Pro Bowl is a waste of time. That's one of the main things. It's a complete waste of time. The Pro Bowl last year, the 2016 Pro Bowl, had 47 players walk away from it for some reason or other. That was an NFL record, and we're going to see likely just as many, if not more, players walk away from the Pro Bowl. There's a lot of different reasons that they'll walk away. Injury, being part of a team that is going to play in the Super Bowl, obviously. Just not interested, quite frankly. There were several players last year weren't interested in playing in the Pro Bowl. It's a big marketing scam. I mean, you draw the fans in, they're voting, and obviously they want to come see it. But it's terrible for the players. My slogan for the Pro Bowl is, and it will continue to be, one awkward fall is all it takes. The guy tears his ACL in the Pro Bowl, he's not going to be here for next year. Highly unlikely. I understand what it means you have to. Besides the fact, it's a big money-making scheme, as if the NFL needs to make more money. But it's also a way of recognizing the players, recognizing greatness. First of all, what I enjoy is the NFL players' top 100 list comes out later after the NFL season is over. I think that's an excellent way of recognition. And it's not done among fans, it's done among players themselves. They rank the top 100 players in their sport. That's recognition. Just pick out players that have been voted to the Pro Bowl, even doing a start team list, but don't have them play. Bad idea. There's a completely different dynamic, too, considering this sport, football. Players injured left and right all the time. I have different opinions in other sports. Me too, and eventually will be done away with. Because in the grand scheme of things, all things considered, it just doesn't make sense. Props to you, if you got what I was going to talk about from the title, because you know me. Alright guys, that about does it for today. It's been the Pro Bowl edition of the Blindside Blitz podcast. The holidays are upon us, so I'll be doing some more shows here over the Christmas break, over my Christmas break. So don't forget to like the page on Facebook, Blindside Blitz podcast. Join the request in the Google Plus community, and we are on Twitter at _Blindside Blitz. About does it. Have a Merry Christmas, guys. Probably will see you up for Christmas time. Steelers Ravens 4:30 on Christmas Day. It's going to be a big one. You're not going to want to miss it. 4:30 Steelers. The best rivalry. Steelers Ravens in all of football. That about does it. It's going to wrap things up. Thanks for listening to the Blindside Blitz, and we will see you next time.